I'm Felicia,
And I'm Ian.
and we are the Paranormal Lovers.
Hello, paranormal dudes, dudettes, and dudays. Welcome back to another episode of the Paranormal Lovers.
Hey guys!
Hey, guys.
Thanks for joining us for another week, episode 120.
Yeah.
We hit a nice even number. I don't know
120.
why. Makes me so happy. We hit a nice, even, solid number.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a 0 on the end. That makes me even happier.
So if
All
you
right.
guys see me drinking this, it's a Heineken Zero.
It's non-alcoholic. Don't worry. He's
And,
still sober.
I just had to have it. We just got done on an episode about a rapist, so
You guys
Had to
go
have a
for it.
beer.
Check out Rethinking Our History. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm not okay. My stomach hurts.
don't Google that guy neither.
Don't do it. There's so many pictures of him wearing other people's underwear. You don't
Yeah.
want to see it. Okay, but that's not what we came here for. We're here for the second half of Jonestown.
Yeah.
I'm not okay, people.
But first,
Let's get the business out of the way. If you're a fan of learning history that they do not want you to learn in school, head over to our history show, Rethinking Our History. Did you know Wilmington has the only successful insurrection in U.S. history? Or that H.H. Holmes is not the mass killer we thought he was, but rather had many wives who just disappeared?
yep.
If these interest you, then Rethinking Our History is for you. If you would please be so kind, give our show a like and follow on the socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are on TikTok too, but we don't really do much there at the moment.
Not yet.
Just search for the Paranormal Lovers in the search bar. Sharing, commenting, and engaging with our posts is the easiest way to support the growing of this podcast. If you would like to support the making of these shows, we have a couple of different ways for you to do so. First, we have our merch shop at theparanormallovers.threadless.com, and we currently have a sale going on. From now until September 2nd, we have $12 tees as well as other sales across the website. We also have our Patreon at patreon.com/theparanormallovers. There for $5 a month, you get early access to unedited videos of both shows as well as stickers and other swag from time to time. Stickers.
Yeah.
As for Why Do Men, we will be adding this new show to Patreon very soon. Just had to tweak the formatting and still got a couple of other things to figure out, but we will let you know as soon as the first episode is ready. And it's going to be an every other week show because I don't want to have to do that every week.
Yeah.
And finally, if you have a personal story, be it true crime, paranormal, or historical, that you would like read on a future episode of Paranormal Personals, you would like to be a guest on the show, or you just want to chat, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com.
We love it when we get people that want to show up on the show or like just interact with us.
We really
It's really
do.
cool.
It makes us happy. Help. Because the world sucks.
Yeah.
And this isn't going to make you any happier.
No.
Okay. We are back to wrap up. Oh, wait. What did you love about this week?
This week, let's see. I like my plan for a rain barrel. I'm gonna try using a rain barrel.
Yeah.
So I've had time. Well, I've been slow at work, so I've had a lot of time off from work. I guess I could say I enjoy that because
Getting to rest.
I really do. There's a lot of stuff that can keep me busy around the house and get to rest, play video games.
Mm-hmm.
Stardew Valley is like it's my escape from reality because everything's so happy and I can
mining and farming
and take care of animals. And
that's me with Minecraft. I think Minecraft is kind of my escape from reality. You just go dig in a hole, fight some skelly-mans or zombies.
Yeah. What'd you love about this week?
I got a key to my store.
Nice.
I have now a key holder.
That's cool.
Also, your aunt got married yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice to see your family and hang out with them for a while.
Yeah.
Although where they had the reception at is where I used to work, and those motherfucking people, y'all.
Yep.
I don't like these people.
They were a little icky,
a little handsy. He gave me hugs, and I can tolerate hugs from most people that I'm friends with. But these two, why you gotta fucking touch me? I ain't seen you in a year and a half for a fucking reason. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
But yes, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
She looked cute. I'm sad that I missed the ceremony, but also glad that I missed the ceremony. So,
Yeah. Y'all get to hear about that
yeah, come over to
a
Rethinking
little
Our
bit.
History here in a couple of weeks and you'll understand what I mean by that. All right. So, we are back to wrap up our look at one of the most infamous cults in the world. When we last left you, Jim Jones had just moved a portion of his congregation of the People's Temple from Indiana to California
Why does this guy remind me of Elvis?
because he fucking looks like
He looked
Elvis.
like Elvis.
He had the glasses and the suit and the
I
hair.
expect him to be like, uh-huh.
Uh, it gets worse. He doesn't. Um, like Elvis, he began using hard drugs that altered his brain.
Mm,
Although I'm not sure what Elvis was on. I know he did something, maybe like some cocaine or something.
I think it was speed, but I could
I
be
don't
wrong.
know. Well, Jones was doing a lot more than that. Um, and it fed into his paranoia. It, like many cases of drug abuse, began with Jones getting prescription pain meds in the 70s or the 60s. And by the 70s, he had a network of suppliers. Oh, I lost my spot to choose from. Uh, like many cases of drug abuse, it began with prescription pain meds, but unlike many cases of drug abuse, he was like a fucking cult leader
Right.
and like this really famous dude that could have connections everywhere. While Jones forbade recreational drug use among his followers, he regularly used amphetamines and tranquilizers.
Oh boy.
Little upper, a little downer. A little upper, a little downer.
Dudes on ludes should not drive.
I don't think he did.
That's the famous Spicoli.
Ah. And so Jones's paranoia grew, and so did his control. He would routinely claim enemies were coming to destroy them. First, the enemy was the Klan, then it was the Nazis, and then before long, it was the US government. He began to preach that tragedy and death would befall anyone who did not follow his teachings. Jones formed the Planning Commission to direct the communal lifestyle of his followers. Made up of his most devout followers, this commission was yet another way for Jones to exact control. New members were forced to turn over all money and assets to the temple,
Of course.
of course. Those who worked gave all of their income to the temple. Jones made some members work on projects for money, and others were forced to farm for food. Jones kept up appearances by organizing community outreach programs and would bus members out to work with the local community. So, yeah, still not terrible, not great, not terrible, not great, not great. This is also when the abuse really ramped up in the temple. The commission was tasked with disciplining members who were not following the rules.
Mm.
Bitch, excuse me? Am I 12? Some of the discipline included, quote, reduced food rations, harsher work schedules, public ridicule and humiliation, and sometimes physical violence, end quote.
Hmm.
Oh, also, while I'm thinking about it, quick trigger content blanket warning. There's going to be talk of rape and death and really sad shit. So you have been warned.
Right.
But like, if you're here, you know this case, so
Right.
it shouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening to the first one. I noticed there was an uptick on YouTube, people watching it. So.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot more subscribers
check
on
us out.
YouTube. So what's up, our YouTube peoples? Leave us a comment down below.
Yep.
And let me know how neurotic you think I'm being, because I feel neurotic at the moment. That's only because I've this. Once we get further into the story and like when they're in Guyana and the way that they had to live, it gives me so much anxiety just reading about it.
Right.
I'm like, I would have lost my fucking mind.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Anyways, Jones began to control the sex lives and relationships of his followers. He decided who married who, forced women to get abortions, and began to sexually abuse his followers, both men and women.
Hmm.
As membership and Jones's paranoia grew, he formed the Red Brigade, an armed security force to keep order and to protect himself. Okay. By 1970, the People's Temple had opened branches in San Fernando, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Jones moved his headquarters to San Francisco. When I typed this out, I said, God damn, I want these numbers. By 1973, the temple had around 2,750 members and 36,000 subscribers to their newsletters.
Wow.
I want people temple numbers.
Yeah.
Damn.
Be getting some YouTube money.
I'm telling you. Well, no, because we won't quit vaping on screen
That's
and
true.
saying fuck all the time. So Big
Yeah.
Daddy YouTube can go fuck himself. One of Jones's favorite tactics thank you for letting us post our videos, but I know you're not going to give me money because of my issues. So one of Jones's favorite tactics to get new members was to attack other churches. In one instance, Jones and 150 followers went to San Francisco's Missionary Baptist Church. I once went to a Missionary Baptist Church.
Yeah.
Middlesex Missionary Baptist Church.
Hmm.
It was a cute little church.
Yeah.
And held a healing revival. During the revival, Jones claimed to heal a man of cancer, which followers would later admit was a hoax. At the end of the revival, Jones condemned the Baptist church and encouraged people to join the People's Temple. This particular event netted Jones an additional 200 followers. You remember Father Divine from part one?
Mm-mm.
Well,
Refresh me.
Father Divine was a black minister
Mm.
and he went to his church and then he was all like, oh, I don't like Father Divine. But then he was like, I want to be Father Divine. Well, Father Divine passed away in 1971. Jones and his followers visited the father's tomb, where Jones told father's wife he was divine reincarnated.
All right.
Just so you know, this is
That's
the look the
messed
black woman was
up.
giving the white man. Later that night, Jones and his followers took control of a dinner held in the father's honor, where Jones once again claimed he was the new Father Divine.
Was was that the black guy that was in the picture with him?
No, that was Jesse Jackson, I think.
Well, there was a couple of them, but there was one that I seen that it was a black guy with a big old beard and a
Nope,
fro.
nope. Father Divine was like clean shaven,
Hmm.
had a bald head, wore a
Okay.
nice hat and a suit. He was a very spiffy looking man.
Which I'm guessing Jim Jones was around a lot of black people and
Hmm.
stuff too. But
I think they said something like 2/3 of his congregation was black,
hmm.
or like half of the people that died at Jonestown were black.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of black people.
So he took Father Divine's wife. Like, is that what
Nope.
is happening here?
Mrs. Divine had enough and accused Jones of being the devil and threw him out.
Oh, she's like, "Fuck you."
Jones was only able to convert 12 new members from this. They were black people are like,
Nope.
no. Jones got himself involved with politics again in San Francisco. It is said that the People's Temple was pivotal in getting George Moscone elected in 1975. Jones was then appointed as the chairman of the San Francisco Housing Authority Commission
What the
by
fuck?
Moscone. I don't know why these motherfuckers keep giving him these positions. I
Just
don't
getting into
know.
like everything. Like, he was like into everything.
Everything. He had his fucking
Everything with
hand in
power,
everything.
anyways.
Oh, it get you just wait. Jones would hold dinners in his San Francisco apartment with people such as the governor and lieutenant governor of California. Harvey Milk, the first openly gay politician, was known to speak at political rallies held at the temple. He once wrote to Jones, quote, Rev Jim, it may take me many a day to come back down from the high that I reached today. I found something dear today. I found a sense of being that makes up for all the hours and energy place, placed in a fight. I found that you wanted what you wanted me to find. I shall be back, for I can never leave. End quote.
All right.
I got goosebumps, and it's like not the good kind.
Yeah.
Jones made connections with more than just local political figures. Jones had met privately with vice presidential candidate Walter Mondale just days before the 1976 election. Jones was also known to have regular correspondence with First Lady Rosalind Carter. Jimmy.
Jimmy Carter's wife.
Jimmy Carter's wife.
Hmm.
Jimmy wasn't as close to him as his wife was.
Right.
He was friendly with him, but he wasn't buddy buddy with him.
Carter was the one that did Thor, right?
What?
Or was that
Thor.
Valiant Thor? Who was the one that let Valiant Thor in the Pentagon?
Eisenhower.
Uh,
No, Carter is the one that built houses with Habitat for Humanity until he died at 99.
oh wow.
Or 100. He might have been 100 when he died.
Yeah.
He was honestly a really good president.
Yeah.
He was a true example of what it meant to be a Christian. Probably like the last true example of what it meant to have a Christian president.
Right.
Jones and First Lady Carter met multiple times and once spoke at a grand opening together, and it's said that Jones got a louder applause than the First Lady did.
Hmm.
Jones also made connections at news outlets like the San Francisco Chronicles, ones that would paint him in a good light, of course. And he was going to need all the good PR he could get. Negative publicity really started in November of 1971. Jones visited one of his old Indiana churches and held a healing revival. Excuse me, folks. One that had local reporters in attendance. The reporting on this revival led to an investigation into Jones's healing practices by the Indiana State Psychology Board. Quote, a doctor involved in the investigation accused Jones of quackery and challenged Jones to give tissue samples of the material he claimed fell off of people when they were healed of cancer, end quote.
All right.
I just imagine some old man being like, send me a tissue sample. Okay, sir. As we know, many of the healings at Jones's revivals, and honestly at healing revivals in general, are fake.
Yeah.
At the temple, some of their methods included drugging members, then putting a cast on them while they were passed out. Once they woke up, they were told they broke a bone. But wouldn't you know it, just a few days later, at a revival, the cast would be removed and they would be miraculously healed.
Oh, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Roofies.
Another tactic would be to have a plant in the audience that would come forward to be healed from cancer. After they were healed, they would cough up the quote unquote tumor. This tumor was nothing more than a chicken gizzard.
Right on. I could see that.
As the child of a 2-time cancer survivor who ended up dying from her third battle with cancer, that shit makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
Like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, makes me mad.
I bet so.
Remember how Jones adopted the tactic of knowing things about people he shouldn't be able to know from Branham?
Mm-hmm.
That was done by, quote, Jones had coworkers who called at all the potential recruits' homes and asked detailed questions in the cover of doing an unrelated examination. This provided Jones with inside information that would make him seem clairvoyant and being in possession of superhuman powers, end quote.
It's like Scientology's thing where they interview people to like level up.
Yep. just so they can like get information on them.
Yep.
Yep. Jones was concerned his tactics were going to be revealed, which, like, they were.
Yeah.
To minimize that chance, he announced that he would no longer be involved in the Indiana temple, claiming the distance was too far to continue to travel back and forth. To authorities, he downplayed his healing claims, but the damage had been done. It only got worse when Lester Kinsolving ran a series in the San Francisco Examiner targeting the People's Temple and exposing those tactics. Thanks, Lester. Also, you know how I like to listen to Red Handed?
Hmm.
Yeah, that over there is Lester. That's how it's pronounced.
Right.
I will have to say it as Lester from here on out now because the British people said it's fucking pronounced Lester, not Leicester.
Or Leicester.
Fucking spelled Leicester. So, anyways, in 1973, Ross Case, a former temple member, began to work with a group in Yucca to investigate the temple. Quote, they uncovered a staged healing, the abusive treatment of a woman in the church, and evidence Jones raped a male member of his congregation. End quote.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Jones learned of Case's investigation, and although law enforcement had done nothing with the evidence, this only heightened Jones's paranoia and solidified in his mind that they were after him.
Sure.
Shit, they're after me. Then 8 members of the temple accused the planning commission and temple staff of abuse. They also accused them of being gay, which, like, okay, whatever, and also questioned their commitment to socialism. Are you truly a socialist? No, they're not. They're communist.
Yeah.
They then left the cult, and this signaled to Jones that his control was slipping. Time to enact his most dramatic plan yet. Jones and the commission began to plan their escape. The long term plan was to flee the country, but they also had to formulate a plan in the event their compound was raided. But before they could get too far into their planning, Jones got arrested. This time, Jones was charged with lewd conduct for allegedly masturbating in a movie theater bathroom in the presence of an undercover LAPD officer.
Oh no. He pulled a Pee Wee Herman.
What now?
He pulled a Paul Rubin.
What did Paul do?
He got caught masturbating in a theater, but it with Paul Rubin it was a porn theater, so it's like
that's what you're supposed to do, people. What was it that I just listened? Oh, just yesterday I was
think it was a porn theater.
listening to More Wine and Crime, and they did pornography crimes, and they were talking about pornography theaters.
Mhm.
That was the thing. And it's like, man, that's weird.
Was weird.
However, just 1 week later, the case was dismissed, the file sealed, and the judge ordered the records be destroyed.
Huh.
It's giving Epstein.
Right.
Give me those files.
Yeah.
The group decided to move to Guyana for a couple of reasons. The country had recently gone through a revolution and was being led by a socialist government. Plus, Jones had been well received when he had visited previously, so the community held a vote and it was a unanimous yes. In December of 73, Jones and James traveled to Guyana to find a suitable location for their quote unquote agricultural commune.
All right.
Mm-hmm. By 74, they had purchased land and supplies, and Jones oversaw the installation of a generator, the clearing of fields, and building of dorms. In December, the first group arrived to start operations and began expanding the commune. Jones left and headed back to the U.S. to battle the bad PR the temple was getting by this point. That was not. Hang on. Sorry. Jones left and headed back to the U.S. to battle the bad PR the temple was getting, but by this point, there was no recovering their image. More and more stories of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse were being reported from former members. After an article was published in the New West magazine by Marshall Clidriff in March of 1977, Jones decided he was done with the U.S. and began to promote moving to his commune. And I just realized my mother was pregnant during that time. March
Hmm.
of 1977, she would have been pregnant with my brother.
Yeah,
Thank God she didn't get wrapped up with Jim
for
Jones.
sure.
I'm honestly really surprised A, my mother never got wrapped up in a cult, and B, my mother was never the victim of a fucking serial killer.
Yeah,
Bitch hitchhiked all the time.
right.
I'm not calling you a bitch. I'm just saying bitch as a term of endearment. Jesus. She's like, "What'd you call me?" Jones decided he was done with the US and then began promoting moving to his commune. Quote, Jones promoted the commune as a means to create both a socialist paradise and a sanctuary from the media scrutiny in San Francisco. Jones purported to establish it as a model communist community, adding that the temple comprised the purest communists there are. End quote.
All right.
Blowing smoke up their ass. Around the time of the article's release, there were around 50 people living in and expanding the commune in Guyana, but it was nowhere near ready for a huge influx of people. Jones was warned by James that it could not accommodate more than 200 people. This was due largely in part to legal requirements that kept temple members away from the commune. Fields were overgrown and buildings had fallen into disrepair, but Jones was determined to flee the U.S., and in May of 1977, he and 600 of his followers arrived at the commune, with another 400 arriving the following weeks.
Wow.
1,000 people,
Right.
give or take. For the first several months, members were forced to work 6 days a week from 6 to 6. It got a little better when Jones's wife, Marceline, took over. Members would work 5 days a week from 8 to 5. But the day was not done when they got done working. After they would all gather, after, commas are important, Felicia, after they would all gather in the central pavilion where they were subjected to hours of preaching, teaching, and reading of newspapers.
Hmm.
Of course, Jones used the teachings to push his own brand of socialism, and the readings allowed him to control the narrative of who the good guys and bad guys were in the world.
Right.
And recordings from the compound, because this is Cult 101, record your teaching so you can share it with the world. We don't want to hear it. Although, hearing Marshall Applewhite say, yes, this is a cult, the cult of cults, is quite entertaining.
Right.
Jones can be heard ranting and raving anytime someone questioned the meanings of his teachings. Jones would also force his followers to claim to be queer, while he would claim to be the only hetero one there, which is wild considering he was constantly raping his male followers.
Right.
Sir, what? This is when you really start to see his mind like slip. It's like really slipping, and you're like, okay.
Well, a lot of cults do that too. They point out like things about people that really it's about them. Like,
I've tried to tell you this before. It's like a psychological thing that things that annoy you the most about other people are things that you're annoyed with about yourself. And yeah, you're right. Cults just do the same thing.
it's
Like,
like,
you can't do drugs, but
yeah,
I'm gonna do barbiturates and fucking quaaludes and shit.
yeah.
Don't worry about it though.
Don't
You
don't
can't have
marry that
sex.
woman, but like I'm gonna marry 7 of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like you can't be gay, but I want your butthole,
right.
sir. Make it make sense. One family that moved to Jonestown was the Stowen family. They were mom Stacy, dad Timothy, and son John. Stacy had slept with Jones, and Jones tried to claim John as his own child. After Stacy, why did I say Grace? I don't know. Oh, maybe because it was her middle name? I don't know. After she left the temple, Jones ordered Timothy to move to Jonestown with John. Timothy left the commune but was forced to leave John behind. In early 1977, Jones traveled to Cuba in an attempt to make a trade deal for a company he had founded. While touring schools and meeting with his contacts, Jones became annoyed because Fidel Castro would not meet with him.
Oh,
Sir, it's fucking Fidel Castro. Of course he doesn't want to fucking meet with you.
sounds like a certain somebody nowadays.
I could be wrong on this. I feel like when Fidel was in power, Cuba was actually doing really good. And like we fucked that up. Like we tried to kill him 58 times.
Yeah.
I shit you not. The US government tried to kill him for like 5 years and they could never fucking kill him.
Couldn't catch him.
They just couldn't fucking kill him. Like, I don't know what was going on. But like, Fidel Castro doesn't want to meet with you, Jim Jones. Okay, he's busy. Well, Castro was not interested. Jones did meet with another important figure of the time. Huey Newton was the founding member of the Black Panther Party and had fled to Cuba to avoid murder charges. Huey would return to the US after some time, but during 77, he spent about an hour talking to Jones about family who had visited the temple and his desire to return home. Say in late 1977, Timothy Stowen and other former temple members formed a concerned relatives group, which is also part of cults. Every cult also has a concerned relative group because why my baby in a cult?
Right.
God, Patty would be so easy to get into a cult. I asked her one time, what would you do if a random man comes up and tells you that he lost his puppy? Well, I'd go help him find it. I said, no, Patty. Why not? Because there is no puppy. Oh, yeah. Jesus. She's so sweet, but
Yeah.
and like y'all know me. I don't get graphic with her, but I'm very, very honest with this child about what the world's like.
Yeah.
And she just does not believe me whatsoever. I'm like, all right. They all had family members who Jones refused to let leave. In January of 78, Timothy traveled to DC to meet with politicians and government officials. He also filed a white paper, which is a certain type of report against the temple. Timothy's visit piqued the interest of Congressman Leo Ryan. Leo wrote a letter to Guyanese Prime Minister Forbes Burnham. The Concerned Relatives group then began a legal battle with Jones and the temple over custody of John. In June of 1978, Deborah Layton, a former temple member, gave an affidavit detailing more of the abuse the group was subjected to. Quote, Layton's affidavit stated that Jonestown residents were being deliberately undernourished. There was rice for breakfast, rice water soup for lunch, and rice and beans for dinner. On
Mm.
Sunday, we each received an egg and a cookie. 2 or 3 times a week, we had vegetables. Some very weak and elderly members received 1 egg per day. Jonestown, sorry, noises. Jonestown stood on poor soil, so it was not self sufficient and had to import large quantities of commodities such as wheat. However, Layton noted that Jones did not rely on the same diet as his followers. Instead, he consumed more substantial meals that frequently contained meat, while claiming problems with his blood sugar. He also permitted a few chosen members of his inner circle to eat from his personal supplies. End quote.
They were eating steaks.
And everybody else was eating rice and beans.
True.
Which, like, I'm weird. I'm like, this sounds like a pretty good day of food to me. But this is actually a common tactic with cults. Meat and protein rich foods are necessary for brain function. When you starve, your brain will literally begin to shrink, which
Yeah.
I did not know that. Your brain will shrink if you don't eat enough food. Great. And you lose cognitive function. When this happens, you are more susceptible to manipulation. And while the follower starves, the leader eats well and keeps their wits about them, as long as they're not doing drugs
Right.
or mentally unwell. In an attempt to say the US government was spreading lies about Jonestown, Jones hired JFK assassination conspiracy theorist Mark Lane and Donald Freeman. Sir, what? Jones said he wanted to pull a quote unquote Eldridge Cleaver. This was a reference to another Black Panther who fled the US but was able to later return after his reputation was restored. However, Jones didn't really want to go back to the United States. His true target was the Soviet Union.
Mm.
Da. He attempted to negotiate terms of resettlement for his commune in the Soviet. In October of 78, Fyodor Timofeyev, the Soviet consul to Guyana, visited Jonestown for 2 days. Jones had told him beforehand, quote, "For many years we have let our sympathies be quite publicly known that the United States government was not our mother, but that the Soviet Union was our spiritual motherland," end quote.
All right. That also sounds like a recent something that's happening.
Hmm. What else does it sound like that somebody's so fucking enamored with Russia they're willing to let the fucking country burn? Fortunately for the USSR, they did not accept the People's Temple into their country. Not actually sure if they were considering it or not, but they hadn't made any plans to at that point in time.
Have you seen the people that moved to Russia because of uh,
Mm-mm.
their religion? Yeah. Check that one
What the
out.
fuck's their religion? Racism?
Christianity.
Racism?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not even sure Russians are Christians. What?
Right.
Like, do they even practice Christianity in Russia?
Exactly. You have to check this shit out. I'll look it up for you later.
Yeah, like send me a link or something because that just sounds stupid. Also,
It
they're
was a
fucking black Russians, so good luck.
white nationalist that took his whole family over there.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
And they are not good.
Sir.
Because what happened whenever the dude moved with his whole family there is immediately Russia, because like he signed a deal with them, and then they were like, "Nope, you're going into the army."
I saw that
Yep.
guy. I saw that. He was so upset because he was
Yep.
told that he wouldn't have to go fight, and then they were making
Yep.
him serve anyway. You dumb little bitch.
Yep.
You dumb little bitch. I swear to God.
See, he didn't realize that Russia's politicians do not play fair. Like,
They don't have politicians. They have a fucking
like
oligarchy.
they have a dictator.
They don't have a politicians. They have an oligarchy.
Yeah.
I learned that in fucking middle school. Are you kidding me? It needs to not rain tomorrow so I can go ride my bike.
Yeah.
Fortunately for the USSR, they did not accept the People's Temple into their country. Already said that. But I think even if they had been willing to accept the commune into their borders, I think Jones was too far gone to make that move.
Right.
Jones's paranoia reached a new height and he began to hold white nights.
Uh-oh.
Which sounds all kinds of fucked up when you're supposed to be like anti-racist, but whatever. These were nights where he would drill his followers on what they were supposed to do, not if, but when the US government came to raid the compound. So that's another long one. Let me take a breath. Quote, Jones would call alert, alert, alert over the community loudspeaker to call the community together in the central pavilion. Armed guards with guns and crossbows surrounded the pavilion. The community members would remain at the pavilion throughout the drill, in which Jones told them their community had been surrounded by agents who were about to destroy them. Jones led them in prayers, chanting, and singing to ward off the impending attack. Sometimes he would have his guards hide in the forest and shoot their firearms to simulate an attack.
Mm.
Jones's terrified followers were only told they were participating in a drill when the event was over. One drill in September 1977 lasted for 6 days.
Jesus.
Known as the Six-Day Siege, this ordeal was used thereafter by Jones as a symbol of the community's indomitable spirit. End quote. Woo, I said that word without fucking it up. I was really worried about that one. Um, like, what? 6 days?
That's when you know you're in a cult, when they tell you everything's coming after you.
6 days?
Yeah.
In combination with the starvation making them manipulatable, these drills serve to strike fear into the followers and keep them in the commune. But keeping the followers isolated brought even more unwanted attention, and they were visited twice by the United States Embassy, and the IRS opened an investigation into the temple in 1978. After this, the White Knights notched up yet another level. Jones began preaching that the CIA was working to destroy their community, and the only way to escape would be through death. So white knights began to include followers being given a drink they were told would kill them. Layton described one such event. Quote, everyone, including the children, was told to line up. As we passed through the line, we were given a small glass of red liquid to drink. We were told that the liquid contained poison and that we would die within 45 minutes. We all did as we were told. When the time came when we should have dropped dead, Rev Jones explained that the poison was not real and that we had been through a loyalty test. He warned us that the time was not far off when it would become necessary for us to die by our own hands. End quote.
What the fuck?
God damn, the anxiety that I would have from getting put through that shit
Right.
again and again and again. There's no telling how many white knights he did. Like, nobody really knows how many times they had to go through this.
Yeah.
Commune and even cult is a nice way to describe day to day life for the followers of Jim Jones by late 1978. From day to night, the followers worked in the fields and building buildings. The whole day, they were subjected to Jones's quote unquote sermons being played over loudspeakers that had been installed throughout the property.
Horrible.
And then, like I've said before, they were forced to go to the Central Pavilion to listen to Jones rant and rave for hours and be subjected to these white knights.
Yeah.
And this is another common tactic cult leaders will use. As someone who has sleep apnea, I can attest that sleep deprivation can make you act in ways you normally wouldn't simply because you cannot think straight.
Right.
Thankfully, during Helene, I was able to eat. I was not working and did not have Jim Jones screaming in my ear all night and day, or I would have drank the Kool-Aid my damn self to stop the torture. Like, I'm seriously thinking, if I had to work all day out in the heat, building buildings, working out in the field with soil that wasn't good, so we weren't actually making any food. I had this motherfucker screaming over a loudspeaker all day, and then I gotta go sit down and listen to him scream in my face all night, and then you want me to pretend like I'm a die? I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
out. I would have taken my own life, and like I'm not even joking about that. I
Yeah.
would have taken my own life. While there were around 1,000 people in the commune, the majority of them were children and elderly. This left a much smaller population that could actually work around the property, and conditions quickly worsened. And so did Jones's health, both physical and mental. His orders became erratic and confusing, and he was seen stumbling around the compound. He became aware of a possible lung infection in 1978, but he told his followers he had been diagnosed with lung cancer. Again, with the fucking cancer, you son of. I hate him so much.
Right.
Part of his failing health was due to his continued drug use. He is said to have been routinely abusing Valium, Quaaludes, stimulants, and barbiturates. Woo! November of 1978 signaled the beginning of the end for Jonestown. On November 15th, Congressman Leo Ryan and a delegation arrived in Georgetown on a fact finding mission. This delegation included concerned relatives, an NBC News crew, and several newspaper reporters.
Is that when he was on NBC?
Maybe.
I think, like, I remember him being on some sort of TV show.
I don't know. This was 1978.
Hmm.
So I know that you can find like news clippings of it. Um, sorry, I lost my spot. There we go. 2 days later, on the 17th, the delegation flew to Port Kaduma, where then were driven to Jonestown. Jones held a reception in the Central Pavilion for the group later that evening. During this event, member Vernon Gosney passed a note to NBC reporter Don Harris to give to Leo. This note was asking for help for Vernon and member Monica Bagby to leave the compound. Unfortunately, word spread that some members were planning to leave. Tensions hit the fan on the afternoon, tensions hit the fan, and on the afternoon of the 18th, Temple member Don Sly, not very sly, attempted to stab Congressman Leo.
Damn.
Yeah, not great. It gets worse. The congressman, his delegation, and 15 Temple members left Jonestown soon after with no resistance from Jones. But Jones was not okay. I remember him, I imagine him just like standing there, just like stone faced as they drive away. But like inside, it's just like a duck treading water.
Right.
And two things, Jones was not okay with what was happening and ordered two things to happen at the same time. First, while a temple member spoke over the PA system telling followers everything was okay, aides filled a large tub with grape flavorade. Into the flavorade, they added, quote, diphenhydramine, promethazine, chloroquine, chloral hydrate, diazepam, and cyanide, end quote. At the same time this poison brew was being concocted, Jones ordered his Red Brigade to kill Leo and everyone in the party before they could leave. As the congressman and the party boarded two planes at Port Kaituma airstrip, the guards arrived and began shooting them. Shooting at them. Congressman Leo Ryan and four others were killed immediately. At the same time, in one of the planes, one of the supposed defectors opened fire on those who had already boarded.
Hmm.
So, Congressman's dead. That's not great.
No.
The five who died were Congressman Leo Ryan, Don Harris, NBC cameraman Bob Brown, who was able to capture a few seconds of the ambush before he was killed, San Francisco Examiner photographer Greg Robinson, and Temple member Patricia Parks. Everyone else was able to escape into the jungle. Whether or not they made it out of the jungle, no.
Right.
Jungle's not a fun place to be.
No.
When Jones was informed of the failure to kill all those who had left, he knew the time had come. He gathered his followers in the central pavilion and told them the congressman was dead and the military was on their way to seize control of the compound and kill everyone. Coming to kill us! Motherfucker, nobody's even got anywhere yet. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
And after the murder of a congressman, there was no way they could flee to the Soviet. With this plan set in motion, the plan was set in motion. Jesus Christ, I can't read. I'm sorry. And what happens next is all recorded on audio. If you really want to listen to it, just Google the People Temple's death tape.
Wow.
And listen at your own risk. In the tape, only one woman speaks out against the plan, but the cries and screams of adults can be heard. I did not listen to the tape. I have zero desire to get this shit in my brain.
Right.
It is on the Jim Jones wiki page that's linked in the show notes.
Oh no.
So y'all have fun if you want to listen to it. I'm not going to listen to it because I won't be able to sleep for a week.
Yeah.
And I might hurt myself. So no thank you. The Flavor Aid mixture was passed around and many people willingly drank it, but not everyone was willing to ingest it. Some of the bodies were found to have injection sites where they were injected with cyanide if they refused to drink.
Mm.
And it was
By the
not,
Red Guard, I guess.
or just other temple members.
Yeah.
And it was not simple to just walk away either, as the pavilion was surrounded by armed guards. Quote, it is not clear if some initially thought the exercise was another white night rehearsal. When members wept and showed signs of dissent, Jones counseled, stop these hysterics. This is not the time, or this is not the way for people who are socialist or communist to die. No way for us to die. We must die with some dignity. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, how broken your brain has to be that you are sitting there watching 900 people die
Right.
and preaching to them while they do it.
And then cyanide doesn't like it's pretty painful death too, isn't it?
Cyanide's bad, bro. It's pretty
like
bad. Yeah.
I could imagine it wasn't very
Lots of stomach cramps.
yeah.
Lots of vomiting, shitting, which they did add a lot of other stuff to it, so it's possible that they just kind of like fell asleep and then. But again, go listen to the death tape if you want.
Right.
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
I don't either.
Jones can be heard saying, "Don't be afraid to die," adding that death is just stepping over into another plane, and adding that death is a friend. Jones directed that the children be killed first, then the other adults poisoned themselves after the children had died. At the end of the tape, Jones concluded, we didn't commit suicide. We committed an act of revolutionary suicide, protesting the conditions of an inhumane world, end quote.
Hmm.
The fact that there's a death tape,
Right.
that's just fucked up, man.
For sure.
How are you going to record 900 people dying? It's 45 minutes long.
I mean, I would be losing it at the sound of children dying. Like, I would just like, I don't know.
You're going to have to kill me first, and then you can kill my child.
Yeah.
Because no.
Right.
Absolutely not.
No adults should be like subjected to that.
One thing that I didn't put in, I had it in there and then I took it out. One mother drank it and then she actually squirted the cyanide into her child's mouth.
Mm.
So, yeah. 85 members survived the mass murder suicide. Some had slipped into the jungle before the death ritual started. One man hid in a ditch. The baseball team was away at an away game, and others were away on temple business. Some people hid in the dorms. One elderly woman even fell asleep only to wake up to find everyone dead.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine going to take a fucking nap? And you
It's
wake
messed up.
and there's just fucking dead bodies everywhere.
You're like, well, I'm done with this cult.
It is believed that the lunch given that day, a rare treat of grilled cheese sandwiches, fucking evil, bro,
It's messed up.
had been laced with a sedative to make the followers easier to control.
Mm.
They never got grilled cheese sandwiches, and they gave them a fucking grilled cheese sandwich, and it had drugs in it.
That's crazy.
That's dirty. Using
sure.
grilled cheese to poison people or to drug people.
I love grilled cheeses too.
I know. Yo, if y'all ever see food truck around here called Rainbow Cactus Grilled Cheese,
Yes.
I think. Fucking eat one.
Yeah.
They're so delicious. They were beside us at Pride, and we were like, "Oh, that's what we're having for lunch."
They take all kinds of different sandwiches and then like
Hmm.
meld their grilled cheese in with it.
Ian had like a pizza sandwich. I had
So
one that
fucking
had like
good.
ham or something on it, but it had like roasted red peppers and onions, and oh my
Hmm.
god! And then they grill it. Yeah,
Like a grilled cheese.
it's so good. The total death count in Jonestown was 909.
What the fuck?
There were 4 additional deaths in Georgetown, which, along with the shootings, made this the largest single loss of U.S. civilian life due to a deliberate act until 9/11.
Wow.
Jones's sons, Stephen, Jim Jr., and Tim, were all with the baseball team in Georgetown when the deaths took place. The brothers had went to the U.S. embassy to try and warn them about the impending deaths, but word of the shooting had already reached the embassy and they were denied entry. The local military arrived to find a mass body farm. Because, like, as people died, they took them out and laid them out in,
Yeah.
like, rows,
Right.
which one psychologist believes Jones had them do to make it look like more people were willing to commit suicide than there actually were.
Yeah.
Um, the local military arrived to find a mass body farm. The U.S. government organized transportation to bring home the bodies. Jones was found in the middle of the pavilion, sitting on a pillow on a stage in front of his chair. He had been shot 1 time in the head. So he didn't even fucking drink his own flavor aid. And that is the one thing I want you guys to take away from cults, folks, is with all the bullshit they spew out and all the hate they spew out and all the shit they say to get people into their little cult, they're not drinking their own fucking Kool-Aid.
Nope.
Okay? They don't believe the shit they're saying.
Nope.
The autopsy report stated he had committed suicide, but it is possible he ordered one of his followers to shoot him before they took their own life. His tox screen showed high levels of the barbiturate phenobarbital, levels that were so high that if a person did not have a physiological tolerance to it, it would kill them.
Wow.
Jones was cremated and his ashes were spread in the Atlantic Ocean. They said, "Motherfucker, we're dumping you in international waters." Which, like, I'm like, is that why the water's so nasty nowadays? Because it used to not be that dirty. It used to be real clear, and then they put Jim Jones in it, and now it's fucking nasty. The Jones brothers were detained and questioned about the deaths for 5 days. Stephen was accused of being involved and spent 3 months in a Guyanese prison. Once back in the States, Jim Jr. was placed under surveillance for months. Sadly, John Stowen was found dead outside of Jones's home in Jonestown, the little boy that they were trying to get back.
Yeah.
Response from the world was swift after the news of the deaths broke. The Soviet Union distanced itself, saying the event was a quote unquote bastardization of the concept of revolutionary suicide. Christian leaders in the U.S. were quick to call Jones evil, many saying he must have been possessed by the devil. The
Hmm.
People's Temple was expelled from the disciples of Christ, and they made stricter rules for their ministers. Though James tried to say Jones was not involved with the death, that claim was short lived, as was the temple after this event. The FBI and Congress investigated how conditions at Jonestown could have been missed for so long. Like, the U.S. Embassy literally visited the place twice. And for my limited research, I'm not seeing that they reported any problems. And, like, I understand that the followers were forced to put on an act, but it seems like another case of missing the bulldozer sitting in the middle of the room.
Right.
Because, yeah, they could be smiling, they could be acting all happy and shit, but you know, these people have lost weight. They got dark circles and bags under their eyes. They probably got fucking crow's feet and like wrinkles. They probably all dirty and disheveled.
Right.
Come the fuck on now.
Yeah.
I know it may seem conspiracy theorist to compare MAGA today with Jonestown of 1978, but
No, it's very much
the
not conspiracy.
fanaticism is the same. They may not be willing to commit suicide, which, like, I really wish they could and just leave the rest of us the fuck alone. And I know, that sounds horrible.
It's like,
But, like, we've tried to segregate and they destroyed our communities to keep us under their control. And they won't give it or change their ways in this life. And I personally just don't have the energy to fight them.
well, it's like a sign dude held up the other day on one of the National Guard uh, things in Washington D.C. It said, "What Trump order will you not obey?" Like, are you are you gonna drink the Kool-Aid, MAGA? Like, if he told you, like, because it might come down to it. Like,
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they would commit suicide. They'll murder people.
right,
A school shooting here, a church there, a store over there. They're willing to kill for Trump, not just themselves, just
right.
not themselves.
I mean, it might already be to that point, you know?
So keep that in mind when dealing with this. I think it is to that point.
Right,
We're seeing it happen day in and day out. Fucking
for sure.
Congress people getting murdered, dude, like murdering people in the headquarters. Like,
Yeah,
we're seeing it every day. So
yeah,
keep that in mind when dealing with people who are still in the MAGA cult. They're in a cult and they're not right in the head.
no,
They're not. There isn't really much we can do to help them
no,
because this isn't a Jonestown cult where you have to physically be with them to control them. This is a cult that is in their pockets.
yeah,
It's on their television. It's in their laptop.
yeah,
There's nothing that can help them unless you can show them evidence that it's what he's saying is a lie. But even then, it's not going to work because the nurse can say it's false news
yeah,
and it's fake and somebody else made it up. So there really is nothing we can do to help them.
no.
And I know that sounds terrible,
It
but it
is
is what it
terrible.
is at this point,
Yeah,
you know?
right.
All right, Bill. Thoughts?
I mean, that was my thoughts on it. Like, I kept thinking the whole time. I'm like, God dang, like this shit's happening now
Right.
again.
And I mean, it really is too. Like, he has fucking intercom system in everybody's house.
Yeah,
That phone, that TV, that laptop, that Google Echo, that
and
Amazon Echo,
it's
whatever.
blasting 24/7.
24/7, you're hearing, oh, I don't listen to this shit. That's why my phone's always on fucking silent.
Right.
Because I don't want to hear his voice.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you. Oh my God. Well, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Um,
It's horrible.
well, thank you guys for joining us this week. Did you know all of that about Jonestown?
No.
Like, I had heard, I mean, obviously I knew about it because I
I
listened
mean,
to a lot of podcasts recently, but until
I knew of the Kool-Aid incident, but like
2021, I
I
never
didn't.
listened to podcasts and I had no idea the full story of Jonestown.
Yeah, I didn't know the full story.
We all know the Kool-Aid. We all still say that today,
Yeah.
drinking the Kool-Aid. But to know how he used something that was so powerful and important, the civil rights movement,
Yeah.
and then he ended up just killing 900 people
Yeah.
for narcissism.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Because he lost control.
All right, friends. Well, thanks for joining us this week, and thanks for being patient with us as I get adjusted to my new schedule and lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
We're still trying to record weekly. Sometimes I just get exhausted from the week and get behind on my notes, but hopefully we're going to stay on track from here on out.
Hopefully.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you guys have a good week, and we will see y'all next week.
Be kind to each other.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.